Yes, and thank you for joining us for this mini-series on how to regain your power in a crisis. And we're going to be talking about the key principles that I learned and that work that I had to experience through the last recession, 2008, 2009. So those key principles that we can learn from and take and apply today or in challenging days that we may be having. And so we're going to go into these. And so the context is, so this for me, I had my own corporate training business for 20 years, we're doing a lot of mostly corporate work, like corporate training, team building, communication skills, leadership skills, strategic planning, and so on. And it was good. It was good business. I worked with about 1,000 people a year and a six-figure income, and things were going along just great until the last recession. And most people know that for companies, when a recession hits, or we hear the R word around a lot and sales begin to decline, is that most companies spend $0 on training and speakers and so on. And that was the case back in 2008, 2009. And I'm working extremely hard for an entire year, maximizing my attitude, maximizing my activity, working extremely hard, and I keep getting the same answer. Nope, sorry, there's no budget. Nope, sorry, there's no budget. We don't know when there'll be a budget. You know, and this wore on me in a number of ways. I had, because I'm a sole income family earner, a sole income for our family, and there's zero income for a year. It's a long time. Then I started living off my credit card. And I racked up $50,000 in credit card debt. And I was in bad shape. I became hopeless because of all the evidence for an entire year that I saw, even though I was working really hard, was zero opportunities, zero business, zero income. And I came to a place of becoming hopeless and cynical. It's a really, really bad place to be. I don't wish it on anybody. And so what I realized looking at it afterwards was that I was clearly in a crisis. I had $50,000 in credit card debt, a financial crisis, financial distress, and I'd lost my confidence and I'd become hopeless. And it reminded me of now it reminds me of the definition of crisis, which is crisis is danger plus opportunity. Well, the danger was totally obvious to me because I was living it. But the opportunity, I didn't realize the opportunity until slightly later when I became of it, which is really when I share with you tonight the key principles that helped me move through this very difficult time and restore my mindset and my faith and my business. And the breaking point was that it was a cold winter, bleak February morning, and I'm in the same office space actually, and I've been feeling this way, hopeless and cynical for several months, and I finally get to the place where I become sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, and I decided at that moment I'm never going to choose to feel hopeless ever again, and the light bulb went off. I realized I had a breakthrough in my thinking and my awareness, and that I realized it was just a choice. I was so hopeless and so on because I just chosen hopelessness. And the other choice was I could always choose hope, no matter how bad I get. And that was a critical transition point for me. And so then my road back to recovery, so to speak, started when I decided I would always choose hope and never hopelessness ever again. And that led me to talking and interviewing a number of successful business leaders and church leaders and community leaders. And because I was still trying to regain my hope and my faith. And what I saw from interviewing all of them was that in essence, that was their faith in themselves and their future, the faith in God and their future, that literally enabled them to get through their major life crisis. And so what I saw when I saw that, I saw all the evidence that it worked for them and it would work for me as well. And so my faith went from like a 2 out of 10 to like an 8 out of 10 in a very short period of time. And it was that key element of faith, my mindset, that actually enabled me to pay off this $50,000 in debt in just 2 years. 2 years. And yes, I had my corporate training business, and yes, I had another job that I acquired that I'll explain later as one of the principles. But that was all good. But the fundamental reason why was able to pay it off was because my faith had been restored. My mindset was strong. And that's going to be sharing with you here now in terms of these 7 proven principles, to mindset principles to regain our power in a crisis. So let me just share these here. Share screen. These mindset principles. I'm just going to review them very quickly at this level, then we'll go into each one in much more detail. So, and some of these you'll be familiar with, some of these you've used. And when we go through these, I'm going to ask which of these do you need to take and apply for yourself going forward? One, controlling your focus, choosing faith over fear, which is what I did that day. Optimistic, have an optimistic and options mindset, exploring all your options. Persistence and resilience, deciding never give up, and follow your heart, with faith, and do networking and wherever that takes you. And the power of prayer and gratitude, and to bring you peace, and to be proactive, to see it, to believe it, to act on it, and to create it. And the total commitment, that's where we maximize our attitude and our activity. So let's go to the first one, which is really the core one, I believe, which is essential, because control your focus. And we know what we focus on expands. But to what degree do we actually do that is really the question. That the battlefield is really in our mind, because I believe that every single moment we're choosing either faith on one hand or fear on the other hand. Mentally, emotionally, every single moment we're choosing either one. So this is our personal power. This is our power of free choice. What we entertain in our thinking is. It's just like the story of the gray wolf and the white wolf, right? And we hear that they're battling, and the gray wolf represents all that's negative or all that's bad, and the white wolf represents all that's positive or all that's good. And there's always a battle between good and bad. And so it is also, as symbolically those wolves are inside of us, battling between the good and our bad in our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings. And the question is, well, which one wins? And the answer, some of you know, is the one that we feed with our thoughts, our feelings, and emotions. So where we focus, what is our focus? Are we collecting negative evidence? Or are we collecting positive evidence? And we need to guard our mind. And so this became critical to me back in the last recession, after I got through my breakthrough point, I should have done it before that, right? Is to mentally say to ourselves, I can't think about bad things. Like the key is this. Our brain's pretty intelligent, right? Your brain is pretty intelligent. And so whatever questions we ask ourselves, the brain's going to find an answer. So if we ask bad questions like why I can't do this, why this is not working, we're going to get those answers, which are bad answers. If we ask better questions, we're going to get better answers. So the practice is, we can't think about why I can't. Yes, we want to be aware and plan around that, but let's focus our mental, emotional attention on how I can do something, what I will do, what I will commit to doing going forward, and the actions that I will specifically take. It's about collecting. We're always collecting evidence, right? So let's not collect the evidence from right now. It's probably so bad about the media or social media and so on, but let's collect the evidence of what positive things are happening, who is winning, who is having a success story. I was on a webinar last week, and I heard these two corporate trainers, which was the industry that I was in, said that companies are hurting for expertise to guide them through the future. I wish I had heard that back then. I would have had to change my model, but it would have shown me how I can do that. And it's really boils down to this equation here, and I love it, it's simple, is E plus ST equals R, where the events in life, life's just going to happen as it is, plus ST, our self-talk, equals the results in life that we experience. So which of these elements do we have the most control or influence upon? Well, the events are going to happen. We have some influence on that, but it's really our self-talk, isn't it? It's what we're talking about, controlling our mental focus, which will have the greatest impact on the results and what we experience in life. And when we do this, when we collect positive evidence, keep our mind focused on the positive, we're really retraining our brain. Is that then it builds courage in us. And I love this, right? Courage, do one brave thing every day and then run like heck. You can see that. And so, yeah, it builds courage. And the question really for us is what evidence are we collecting? Are we focusing on the negatives, the challenges, or are we focusing on the positives, or where we want to go? Even recently, I did this reprogramming, subliminal reprogramming through a certain methodology, which is simple but totally powerful, to reprogram myself around abundance. And it's working. And so I encourage us to do whatever we need to do. And so hopefully you can take some of these key ideas here today, and take them and apply them and have more peace of mind and have increased success and increased health mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So these are proven principles. These are the principles that I used in going through successfully once I got through the recession. And we'll get into the next one here in the next video clip. So thank you.